What's happening, Nammers? Dan Lawless here for West Ham Fan TV, bringing you a opposition preview with Lee from Newcastle Fans TV. How's it going, Lee?
Much better now. We're on form. It's very rare that we see that 3 from 3, 4 unbeaten. Bring on the hammers, eh?
Yeah, I wish I knew what it was like to win back to back, but it's been nearly 2 years for us. So,
Well, well, it's not often that we win games, so we're going to treasure it with everything.
yeah. It's been a while. Been a while since I see you. I think last time I see you was down outside London Stadium, hanging about.
Yeah, it was. And it was all doom and gloom at that point. I mean, it's amazing what wins can do, but we all know we've both got terrible owners. I know you guys have splashed the cash over the summer, whereas we're shopping in Harrods and we're shopping in Lidl. So, but it's difficult being a Toon fan. But at the moment, it feels nice because we are winning games.
Ashley in?
Definitely not.
No.
You're not. You have to. I spot you outside the ground. Stop winding us up. I know that.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I know you were. You're having a little dig at us. No, you've got a gun, but I think January is massive for us because we all know that Rafa's contract's running down at the end of the season. He has to splash the cash. Yes, I know we're winning games and it's great at the minute. We're sitting in just literally in the same position as you at the moment, but we have to splash the cash regardless because of Rafa's future.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I had to get that in there because I remember when we was going through all the trouble, and then we'd win a game and we'd be like, "Oh yeah, bored in," and we'd be like, "No, it's
No,
not
definitely.
that." So yeah, I mean, it's interesting for you guys because you guys could not win a game to save your life. Now you got three on the bounce. Like, are you guys feeling like, okay, now you've turned a corner and now you can start picking up wins consistently and Rafa can actually make do with what he's got? Do you think he can get the best out of the team that he has, or if you don't spend, you could go down?
I think it's been well documented that we start the season, we had 5 of the big boys in the first 8 games. So now that's out the way, we're playing teams like yourselves around us in the league where we're all picking up points. You look at Watford, Bournemouth, Burnley, we're all picking up points and you could be the next one. You never know. I think now we'll have an easier run in. We don't play a big team until Boxing Day where it's Liverpool away. We were expecting to pick up points and we are, and it looks a lot more healthier. And the funny thing is injuries have actually forced Rafa to make changes, and it's funny enough, it helped her because we're winning games without Lascelles, we're winning games without Shelby on that side, and it's been forced on us to play different systems, different players, and it's actually helped her. I don't know why, but it just has happened, and it's actually give Rafa more food for thought that this squad is better than what most Newcastle fans would expect it to be.
Yeah, I mean, because I've checked out your videos and fan cams and things like that, and it seemed to be like what the fans were saying and had a problem with Rafa was like negative tactics a lot of the time. Is that still the case, but he's getting the best out of it, or is he, like you said, with injuries, he's playing maybe a bit more positively, or is that still a problem that you're concerned about?
I think he stumbled on the likes of Key because Key brings the ball forward, whereas Shelby wants to pick it off the defender and start pinging it. You've got to have a different option. So he has stumbled it and he's admitted that in a press conference, which fair enough. You know, some managers will say, I took all the credit. But no, Rafa said he stumbled across it. I think we are playing a lot more attacking because we've got the big boys out the way now. You've looked at the stats as well. We're having double amount of shots, more possession. So we are playing with a lot more confidence. Again, ironically, with big stars in that side. And bring on the hammers and hopefully we'll give you a hammering on Saturday. Pardon the pun.
Nice pun. So, I mean, goals was definitely a problem for you guys, but I think you struggled to score goals. I mean, you signed Rondon. What's been the sort of how has he performed?
The one game where we got crosses and he got a double against Watford and that. So I think he's this type of striker that needs service. He's very bulky. It's a very Shearer type of player where if he doesn't get the supply, a bit like you've got Andy Carroll. I know he's just come back from fitness, but if you don't get crosses in the box, you're taking away a big percentage of his game. So, but we didn't play that way on Monday night when we won. We did previously against Watford and Bournemouth. So he's on loan, but is he the answer on the long term? The jury's out on that. He's got to get double figures for this season for us to purchase.
Yeah, I mean he's a player that we were linked with for a lot of the time, and our fan base was sort of split on whether we should sign him or not. But yeah, I mean, who for you is the player that we really need to watch out for on Saturday now?
Well, for us,
yeah,
I don't know. It's more of a team effort with us at the moment because each game there seems to be someone that comes out with credit. I think Key at the moment Ki Sung-young, and it's mad to think that he is driving the team forward. And you think, Ki Sung-young, really? He's a reject. He's been at South Swansea, he's been at Sunderland. But what he does, he gets us 10 yards forward, and what he does, he moves the ball forward. And we don't have that, whereas I've said already, Shelby will pick the ball up and ping it. But, you're talking about Kennedy as well. He's better. He's not brilliant, but he's better than what he has been. And, if we can get the supply in, Matt Ritchie's due a goal as well. He was brilliant. I know he did that awful miss against Burnley, but he was awesome at left wing back. So there is no one who will literally stand out. It's more of a team thing at the moment. And if the team keeps going the way it's playing at the moment, it will cause you guys a lot of problems.
And from a Newcastle perspective, I mean, how do you sort of see West Ham season so far, and the position West Ham is, and how are Newcastle looking at West Ham coming into this game as a Newcastle fan?
I think we expect 3 points, and that's probably one of the first few times that we've said this season because of our form, first of all. But looking at you've spent, I've said this to you outside the London Stadium in August, that I would love to be spending you went and spent 42 million on one player. I mean, that is 10 seasons for us, and that's not a joke. For us to accumulate that kind of money, I think you probably should be a lot better than what he's at the moment. I know he's had a tough start, similar to what we had as well in terms of fixtures. And I expect you to be in the top 10 come after 38 games. That's where I'm expecting you to be. And then, you never know, push on, spend more money, whether Gold and Sullivan does in the next January or even in the summer. Maybe push Europa League next season, but for this season, top 10.
Yeah, I think we just need to get some consistency and stability, really, going into it. And obviously, injuries has hampered us. But I think it's a tough one with the game on Saturday. I mean, do you have a prediction for the game?
I don't think we'll get beat. I think if we can keep our unbeaten run, because it's 4 at the moment, if we took a draw now and you said, right, here you go, Lee, there's a point, I'll probably take that just to get that run going, the momentum, keep it going, because we've had a really poor start the season. So, but on the other hand, we've been playing so much better and creating a lot more. I'm expecting Newcastle to create, and I'm expecting yous to play the football, because Burnley went direct against us. Yous aren't going to play that. Yous are going to try and play through it. I'm expecting it to be goals, but at the minimum requirement, I expect a point. But confidence is so high for the fans and the team at the moment. 3 points, why not?
And obviously, I really wanted to ask you. Rafa Benitez is obviously in his last year of his contract. Do you see him staying at the club beyond this season?
Yeah, well, we had this conversation as well, because I know you nearly got him before he went to Real Madrid. My head says no, but my heart says yes. It all depends what Mike Ashley does in January, whether he stays or not. And look, he wants to stay in England because his family are settled in the world. He drives from Liverpool and Newcastle nearly every day. That's a commitment in itself. That's a 3-hour drive, and then coming back. I think after the summer, I don't think he will be.
Yeah, the damage maybe is done.
Already,
you think?
possibly already. Even if we went crazy in January and spent 50 million. Is that enough to then say, oh well, we spent 50 million there, Rafa, but we're not going to win July or August? You know what I mean? It has to be consistent. Like it could be used right now. Use went crazy over the summer, but is your owner going to go crazy again?
So that's the question. The thing is, I think most fans would rather you spend big in the summer and then buy those additional players in January, and rather than penny pinching summer and then go and have to panic in January, and then you've got the extortionate prices you're going to have to pay, and it's a lot harder to January transfer window.
Well, we can't loan any more English players because we've got 2 already, so we'll have to go abroad if we are going to loan, or we turn Kennedy or Rondon's deal permanent, but I can't see that at the moment.
And how do the Newcastle fans react when Rafa does walk away? What's the reaction, and what do you guys do going forward?
I think it'll be hostile. It's nice and rosy. The protests are still happening. There's a planning 11-minute walk-in on Saturday. That's still happening. It's rosier because we're winning games. Yes, that is key, of course. But it will be hell on. Because it's who comes in next, who you're getting. Are you getting a Joe Kinnear again? You're getting someone who's a dinosaur, maybe an Alan Kirbishley. I know he was at your club, but it could be someone who's been out of the game for years on years who comes in.
That would be a very Newcastle appointment because it's a very West Ham. We seem to like have very similar appointments of managers over the years, and that sort of walk-ins and walkouts are things that West Ham fans, discuss, especially when it was going bad last season. There was a lot of debate over that. Like, do you think it could affect the team negatively on the day? I mean, I hope it does, obviously, but
yeah, of course, you will. Well, Rafa and Jamal have already come out and said, get behind the team, get behind the team, get behind the team. And that has kind of convinced a lot of people, a lot of fans, because there is a boycott plan for Wolves, which Sky Sports are covering. So that will negatively impact the stadium. But because we're winning games at the moment, and Rafa's come out and Jamal have come out and said, back the team, it is convincing those who were boycotting to come over. Don't get me wrong, there's still people who want to go and boycott, and it's a touchy subject up here because it feels like the fans are coming against each other at the moment, whether you're in or you're out. Look, Newcastle United is just full of politics. It always will be. It's a soap opera up here. You're in this bubble and there's nothing else around here.
Yeah. Like I said, we're very, very similar clubs, similar fan bases, and so I completely understand what you guys are going through. And I mean, hopefully, it all turns around for you guys, and look, hopefully we get the win on Saturday.
Well, I hope we do.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Lee, mate. Really good to catch up with you again, and obviously talk about our seasons. If you're watching this, whether you're a Newcastle fan or West Ham fan, leave your comments below. Let us know what you guys think about the game on Saturday, what your predictions are. Go out and check out Newcastle Fans TV. Give them a subscribe and check out the video that I've done on Lee's channel, where you'll get a bit of a more of a West Ham perspective of the game. So don't forget to subscribe. One thing left to say: come on, you Irons.